Hello guys, I wanted to talk to you today about Sweden. A few days ago banned Huawei, I think that's how you pronounce that Chinese phone company, or telecommunications company, I suppose. Sweden banned them from their country. So, I guess what that means is that they have until 2025 to get rid of, well, for any network in Sweden that does 5G, has to get rid of Huawei. Anything to do with, Huawei as a company can't be affiliated with any 5G networks in Sweden after 2025, so 5 years from now, and no new parts, and they can't be added anywhere new. So it's a ban, but it stops any further development for Huawei in Sweden, and then it makes sure that everything is removed within 5 years, which, I mean, I don't know how long that 5G has been under development, and how long the Chinese have been involved in this development in Sweden, or any country for that matter. But 5 years, if it's been in that country for 5 years, does it really take 5 years to get rid of all of it? I mean, and in 5 years, they could have, in a democratic country, their political affiliation could be different in 5 years. 5 years is a lot of time. So it's honestly pretty lenient. And I think even England had their ban was from they give them until Huawei until 2027 to remove all that. So 5 years, 7 years, that seems like a lot of time to give them to remove this technology from these countries' 5G networks. And makes you wonder how long that technology has been in these countries to begin with. But anyway, so Sweden is joining the list. They're banning Huawei and this ZTE company. I have seen ZTE in the flesh. As far as I have friends who have used ZTE phones. Anyway, so Sweden's banning Huawei and ZTE from their 5G networks. They are now, along with the United States, England, Taiwan, Finland, Poland, Japan, Australia, and Bulgaria. So that's like 9 countries that have banned it now. Who have banned Huawei, not necessarily ZTE, but 9 countries who have banned Huawei. But Sweden takes it a step further by also banning ZTE. And there's another 6 countries who have canceled projects or chose competitors. So the list goes on if you consider the countries who haven't done an outright ban, but have canceled projects with Huawei and chose competitors instead of Huawei. So, and India, Canada, and Germany are considering. Of course, there's other ones that are considering too. And it's, so this is kind of an ever-growing thing. It's a developing story. Certainly over the last year, it's really changed quite a bit. For instance, 1 year ago, so October 2019, only 4 countries had banned Huawei from their 5G networks. Now it's 9. And let's see, I guess the first country that banned it was Australia, and that was sometime in early 2019, I believe. I read an article saying that talking about Australia being the first one back in April of last year, which makes sense because Australia's the closest. They're the closest of what you could call like a Western civilization in to Japan, to China. You know, I mean, because don't get me wrong, there's other democracies that are near China, much closer to China. You got Taiwan, you got South Korea, you got Japan and India, the Philippines. You got a variety of democratic countries, but none of those countries are what you would call a Western country. I mean, Australia is definitely a Western country, being that it has a very strong relationship with England and America, and New Zealand's right along with it. But anyway, so Australia was the first country to ban it, and that was at least a year ago, maybe 2 years ago. A year ago, it was 4 countries who banned it. Now it's 9, and it's definitely gotten a lot more press in the United States since back in June, the Department of Defense, they accused Huawei of a link to the Chinese military, along with at least a dozen other companies. But anyway, so Sweden said that it was because of spying from Beijing, and because they I can't remember the last thing intellectual theft, and that's a big theme here is the Chinese communists are not playing fairly with intellectual theft. If you steal technology from a company of another country, in most countries they'll work with you, and there's such a thing as international law between most democratic countries, and that's not the case with Chinese companies. There's a lot of accusations of intellectual theft, and the Swedish Huawei ban is largely because of their accusations of their suspicions of Chinese intellectual theft. So anyway, one more country added to the list, and I'm sure that there'll be several. There's definitely going to be more. I mean, every couple of months, a new country joins the list of banning these Chinese companies, this Huawei in particular, from joining their 5G network, and I don't blame them. So we'll see how this story develops as more countries consider this banning of Huawei. All right, thank you for your time, guys.